Welcome to ShortView Trading, your morning market hit for Friday, October the 30th. What matters today for traders? Well, markets are clearly breaking down in many instances. It started on Wednesday with European markets, with the DAX, the broader European markets and other country indices breaking below ranges of recent months. And that was followed on with oil yesterday breaking below key support levels, its range of recent months. Both oil and European equities, classic cyclical indicators, of course. And then on top of that, overnight, we've had Asian markets breaking down. The Nikkei, another classic cyclical indicator, very cyclically based equity market index, along with the Kospi, Hang Seng and one or two others. So a number of markets across the globe are breaking down. The narrative's fairly well known. It's the rise of virus cases in Europe and more importantly, the lockdowns that are coming with it. Some of them quite draconian, whether you look in France or parts of Germany and so on, and therefore having an impact on economic activity. And therefore, over and above that, the lack of stimulus out of the States is a disappointment. Hedging ahead of the presidential election on Tuesday, of course, is playing out. Will it be a contested election? That's a key question in investors' minds. And what shape will the outcome take? And as such, how will the fiscal stimulus look? That's another key question in investors' minds. And then over and above that, of course, we have the tech earnings last night from the big four. On the whole, disappointing. Yes, Google was very good. The others are trading down after hours, reflecting some disappointment with their guidance and some of their key metrics. So the market narrative is part of what's driving it, but really we're going from greedy to fearful. And of course, that is really the key in these markets, judging when they're fearful enough to step back in. As Warren Buffett said, in the long term, you want to be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when they're greedy. Or indeed, as the former Fidelity Magellan fund manager put it, Harry Land, she said very simply, actual risk is inversely proportional to perceived risk. And when risk seems high, the market's fearful. That's an opportunity. So that's what we use our models for, to judge fear and greed when it's becoming extreme. In downdraft markets like this one, doesn't want to jump too early on the long side. But interesting, if you look at a number of the models, they're starting to warm up for the buy case. So for full details on our models and to see how we're playing this, please see today's Daily Rag available to subscribers via the website. So what are we watching today? Well, primarily it'll be price action. Of course, that's front and center in investors' minds, the way the markets are behaving and the way they're reacting. On top of that, there's bits and pieces of macro data. Personal income and spending is interesting, but we had GDP yesterday, so it's really the detail on the September month. So in that sense, not as important as it typically is. Other bits and pieces coming out as well, and a couple of speeches out there, and of course more earnings from the US. So that's it from us. That's your morning market hit for Friday, October the 30th. Thank you for listening. Please do subscribe on YouTube. Simply search under ShortView Trading or follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn and or Facebook. Thank you for listening. Trade well.